its family, dad and uncle bought the Royal City Titan 1 site.
Right.
So he called today, and we were talking, and, just about different things that's going on with everybody to see where it's all at.
It's like a little community.
Yeah, pretty much so. I mean, I brought up the point to Ira. I said, why don't we seal the areas where, at the propellant terminals where the 3 LOX tanks were? He is absolutely convinced that that's where all the water comes in, that it's flooded the launchers. Okay. And he went on to tell me that when he was young, his dad and uncle pumped one of the launchers completely dry. Right. And I made the comment, I said, you've got complete cribs.
Damn.
Why don't we just pump them? Why don't we just seal it up? What would that cost us? And then pump it. I mean, because literally you have the most, it would have to be, I'm going to say, I think Royal City, even though it's underwater, I think it's in such pristine condition from even the underwater photographs from all the diver. So, it leads me to believe that why don't we pump it?
Yeah, I don't know about Beatum. I've seen pictures, but I don't think I've seen every silo. And some of the crib is kind of cracked down a little bit, got salvaged, but I would think that Rural City has 3 pretty much intact cribs.
From my understanding, yes. From some of the photographs that I've seen, it used to be peaked on chrome hooves, Titan 1 epitaph.
Right.
So, if I'm not mistaken, I mean, Pete went through there. I don't know if he was diving, but I think at some point he went through it. And so when I was talking with Ira today, I threw that out there. So I want him to think about it, talk with his mother. I just think it would be outrageous to honestly get to see one. So, before they're all gone, I mean, if what you say is correct, that Nick has bought 2 more of the Titan 1s, I'm not too sure which ones, because I didn't think the other ones had anything.
Yeah, so, I'm not. That was just a comment, and when you say 2, it could just be 2 more missile sites. It doesn't necessarily mean 2 more Titan 1 sites, because he bought 11 or whatever that is out there.
Well, I mean, if he did buy 579, 11, I mean, more power to him. I mean, my only thing is, I really look forward to seeing him put in a crib to hold a helicopter. Yeah. I mean, that sounds exciting. I will give you that.
Elevator.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, I want to see him do it. I mean, there would be nothing like that. I mean, I can't fathom what that would cost. I mean, I would imagine it would be several millions of dollars. Wow, what a concept. Okay.
What do you think when I showed you the bottoms up picture of...
I like those pictures. I mean, do I tend to believe that's Glasgow? I mean, it's possible.
What else
it would make sense. I'm sorry?
What else could it be? I mean, it's not Lewis. Lewis has got crib and all that. What other site could it?
No, I don't think it's... I don't... I mean, it's an interesting question.
576 easily
I
fit
can tell you at one point before Larry got a hold of Glasgow, the original owner, and I say original, the one before Larry, I forget his name. I used to talk to him. His dog fell in there, and there was water in it. And by God, the dog lived. They had to bring out the fire department. And he got down and rescued the dog. I mean, wow. I think if you go back on Siloworld, you'll see some of them for that particular site in the 550th.
Right.
And you'll see that owner. Doggone it, I'm sorry, I can't think of his name, but he was a vet, and I know he got wounded in one of the, I don't remember if it was Afghanistan or Iraq.
Well, most of those Kansas sites, they have like 50% crib, and it's pretty much underwater.
Well, I mean, if you do, it's like Rick Fisher's old one, for Colton, of course, which then became Morning Star, or I don't know, whatever the other one is. But, we had that ongoing discussion for years, Bryce, on given that the mounts, you couldn't see any above water structure, but yet you could see where the struts were still connected to the mounts for the springs.
Right.
And sure enough, what was it? Jim Curry that owned the one Titan 2 site that's in Arkansas that they're using is an Airbnb. That used to be Jim Curry's site.
Jim went. Slippers.
Yeah, Titan Ranch or something. I don't know, something like that.
Yeah.
Jim Curry went and bought a underwater drone. And that's when I wasn't able to go out there, but I think it was Rick Fisher was there because, of course, Rick owned it. And then, of course, Jim was there. I think David Johnson at Scott Hobart.
Right.
And in Altus. And by God, if they didn't see the crib down there with the underwater drone.
Now, when you see the crib, is it set down 14 feet like Duder's site was that we looked at a couple months ago? The spring, the cylinders are removed from the springs, so the whole crib is set down 14 feet. Is it like that, or is it?
No.
Salvage?
I mean, I tend to believe his is still connected. I mean, I believe Rick Fisher's, and now this new person, I'm sorry, I don't know their name, but it's the one that I think is now on YouTube, Flair or something like that.
Yeah. York
is doing a lot of the work on it.
Yeah, that's
and
York.
I mean, at that point, it should be interesting to see how that really goes. I understand from Ira today, he was telling me, gosh, Gary, you got to go check this out. And I had missed that. I just didn't get it. And then we were talking about the York, Nebraska site.
Yeah. That's
551st. That I forget what that guy's on his big YouTube channel.
I think that's the Flair guy. He bought York.
Okay, well then I'm thinking that then I don't know who's the one that wound up getting
the North Star site.
Yeah, North Star.
Yeah,
that would have been Carlton, Kansas.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, Flair is yours.
And then you see, we had the discussion of where the other sites were that Larry Hall is doing with the survival condos, and I mentioned Tescott, and somebody had made the comment that there was another site, and I'm not sure which one. So at that point, I'm not scheduled to go out. I'm going to go out and see Matthew Fulkerson that's got 550-8, the Wilson site.
Yeah.
And I'm going to see him this summer. And so that'll be kind of fun. And then I'm going to go obviously I'm going to stop in Denver and hook up with one of my old friends. It's interesting how we do this for years and years. It's like Mark Edson's his name, and I've been talking with Mark for 20 plus years. Never met him. So it's like, I think now's the time we meet these people, right?
Awesome.
I mean, other than, we've talked for years and we're, so it's kind of fun. I look forward to that. Mark had showed me, he's got a couple copies of the original invitation for bids of my sites.
Nice.
Here, the Walker sites. And so I was all thrilled because, I had seen them for the other bases, but none for mine. And so,
what does that date back to?
Well, it had to be after 65 when the government declared the sites excess. and they were doing the service salvage contracts. So it was prior to both of the sites that I purchased 25 years ago originally were sold by GSA, which the government, and that occurred in mid '68.